In this video I'll show you how to make a hardstyle gate that you can use in your raw style tracks or your gated drops. Something that I personally really like when making my gated kicks is starting with my punch from a sample, because you can take so much samples and just turn that into a punch. I think I actually found one that's quite fun. And let's see, I think if we pitch this up a little bit, yes, I think if we pitch this up and then peak it a little bit and give it some distortion, we should be on the right direction. Yes, I think if I give a little dip before the distortion and then add a low end underneath this, we're going to be good. Something that's also always important with kicks is the phasing. So if you change your pitch of your sound or the stretching by pogo or using the stretch here, you change the phasing of this sound. So the whole way the sounds, or the two sounds that we have right now, glued together changes. It's a really important thing to do even for your punches. Think something like this, and if we route those two together and distort them a little bit more, we can have a nice eye kind of punch. Now afterwards, add a little bit of highs to just clean that punch up a little bit. And I think this will work as a punch. To make a gated till, we need some reverb, and we need some low end to put through that reverb. What I like to do is I just start working from my punch. We get a EQ, and with this EQ we solely just focus on the low end. And after that we put our reverb. I like to give a Valhalla room with some huge decay. So if we just get this right, like this, maybe boost the lows a little bit more, and maybe do a tiny bit of distortion after this, we can easily get the base of a good gated clean till. A little bit too much, maybe a little bit less on the distortion, something like that. And now we can record this. But now that we've recorded this, something that you'll see is that there's a lot of stereo in the low end of this signal. So we want to clean this up a little bit. So before we take this out and start working on this, what we're going to do is at the end, we're going to add one more EQ, and we're going to take away the sides like so. And you'll see how much that cleans up this signal, which has all this stereo information over here from the left and the right doing different things. And it makes it a lot more clean. Did you know I do one-on-one sessions for sound design, whether it's kicks, melodies, or maybe you need some help with the mix down of your track? Hit me up in the link down below or send me a message on my Instagram. I'd be glad to be of service. Cheers! And that's what you want. Now we can drag this behind our punch and start working from this big till sample and start to get a right drive going for our entire kick. So let's just see. Maybe we want to use some part later in the till. That's what I personally really like to do. Just play around with which part of the till you want so that you can layer it with itself. Maybe for this one, if we make it unique, we can take it a lot more from the beginning. Or even if we want to, we can pitch this down. I like the drive of this. Let's just see where it goes. So we get both of these mixer channels, and now we want to have some more reverb so that we can use that in combination with the till to start distorting this and get a nice sound. So now I've immediately already made this automation over here, and that's just to give it the right drive. If you would keep this open, then it sounds too much. But giving it a little bit of this bounce will give it some more bounce in the drive. But you can really play around with this to get the right character to the drive of your till. And I already tested out what would happen if I put these two tills that I had previously, the regular one and the pitch down version, and the reverb till, and if I put them to the same channel, what would happen if I put some distortion on it. So I take So I took a distortion and I just started cranking the distortion and pulled down the tone. Raised the mix a little bit and it just comes to life. We go from this to this. So now to actually start finishing this a little bit more, we can also give some reverb to our punch. So we're gonna put a reverb over there, maybe something like a 25-ish%. I like to get the mod depth down because then it changes, or it basically keeps the reverb the same, so it doesn't change it anymore each time that it plays, and we make this a little bit short. And let's just see how that glues the punch and the tail together. Okay, that works a little bit. Let's just take some EQ to lower the low mids. Sometimes you can rather use linear phase for this. And if we put these two to one bus, we can start finishing this with maybe some inflator or some other effects. The way I like to use the inflator is we just push it to 0 and then we start using the effect and the curve to really create a louder sound. So we're gonna get it close, and over here you're gonna see when it reaches the red, then we're at 0. I hope that this video shows you that it's actually quite easy how to make a great gated gig. If you just got the punch right and you use the punch reverb together with the low end from the punch, it's all just gonna glue together. Just use some distortion to make it a little bit more dirty, and that's all that you need to do. I hope you liked this video, learned something from it, and hopefully I'll see you back soon again. Cheers!